All right, Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So, August 17th, new rules took effect that essentially take a buyer's agent commission responsibility off the home seller. Before we get a sense of reality and strategy of how a home sale has changed for sellers, short time into this thing, how is it going in the market there?
Well, yeah, honestly, there's a ton of confusion, right? The NAR settlement has a lot of pieces to it, a lot of different ways it can be implemented. There are some agents out there trying to find workarounds to still do business the old way, and others are out there embracing the whole new way of doing business. Also, depending on what MLS you're a part of, the rules can be different. Some MLSs opted out of the settlement, so they don't have to comply. And since me and my team are actually part of 7 different MLSs, there's a lot of things to keep track of. All in all, it's just taking the time for the dust to settle and figure out the new normal.
Got it. On the seller situation, Rick, what are some examples of how you've seen those handled in terms of commission? This is the situation for potential buyers agents.
Yeah, well, since my brokerage, the one I'm a part of, has chosen not to share commissions at all anymore, period. And because that's what we believe the Department of Justice is looking for. Our sellers have 3 choices, right? They can offer some sort of credit to offset what the buyer owes their agent for compensation. They can choose not to offer anything and let the buyer pay their own agent out of their own pocket. Or lastly, just kind of wait and see what the buyer asks for in their offer. And most of our sellers are choosing that last one, right? To kind of wait and see what the buyer asks for.
Okay. Do you think some of these strategies for home selling will evolve long term? You already said dust settling. So ebbs and flows, depending on the market or even the individual house or property, like tough to sell ones versus slam dunk homes. Do you think that will factor in eventually?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think eventually it's all just going to be a negotiating point in an offer, just like price or closing costs or inspection terms. I do think, though, that not offering to pay any money to offset what the buyer owes their agent can lower the number of people who can afford to buy. Because that means some buyers will have to bring more cash to closing, and not having enough cash is the number one reason people give for not buying a house. Obviously, that can lower demand for a house, that can negatively impact the value. So I think a lot of sellers will decide to agree to offer some sort of credit, but only time will tell.
Okay. We'll watch it all unfold. Great info as always. Rick, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
That is Rick Sadle, real estate expert with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealestate.com.